give yourself or give another startup founder advice a year ago? You're trying to figure out what you want to build, how you leave your impact on the world, or even how you get into Y Combinator. Like, what advice would you share?
I would say the advice I would share is talk to your customers because a lot of people are doing it the wrong way. They speak to their friends, like someone they know, and there they get the bias of like that. That guy would say, "Yeah, I would buy this $20 a month subscription," but that just gives you a false sense of PMF. So you should talk to customers. Don't just talk. Like try to lock them in. Like, will you share your credit card information for this stuff? Like that.
Hmm.
That's the reason I had to pivot from my cursor for GIS stuff because I realized that a lot of folks were, yeah, this thing is cool. And then I was like, can you share your credit card details? And they were like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. No one did. So I had to make that open source. So yeah, first thing is yeah, like do your research thoroughly, and like instead of researching, start executing. Like that's another thing. Like people think about stuff for 6 months and then they execute and they just try to do it perfectly. I would say instead of that, just do everything in a scrappy way. Just build it, experiment, build, experiment. You now have like cursor, verb, all these kind of tools that you can just use to spin up anything like in a day. You just do a 24 hour sprint, you have the product. Just test it out in the market. Doesn't work, just switch. So I would say the only advice is just not to give up. Just keep trying and execute fast. I think yeah, like if you move fast, you can go way ahead of a lot of folks. Yeah.
I have 2 points. One, so like one that we learned very recently is
Hmm.
if you are planning on building a feature, first go talk to multiple people about it. At least in
Hmm.
enterprises, like you're building something for restaurants,
Mhm.
just don't just like talk to one restaurant or two restaurants
Mhm.
and then try to build that feature and think that it's gonna work. It's like try to 10 or 15 of them. If they have a common problem, then try to solve that. It's like because I would say early on we spent a lot of time, we were talking to one fund, they wanted a particular feature and we started building that. And then we talked to the other one, they weren't specifically needing that feature, they needed something else, so we started building that. It's like we talked to five firms, everyone needed different things, we started building that. Only after this conference we realized that okay, now we should start categorizing these features, and these are the like common problems that everyone has, so these are the most important things to build right now. So that saves you a lot of frustration, headache, and time, I would say, and energy, of course. On the other end, it's like, I mean, it sounds very cliche, but it's like whatever you've learned isn't, a
Yeah.
waste of time, I would say.
Mhm.
It's like even if you're working on one particular problem and you're stuck at a point, just like try to look back on everything that you've learned in different fields. Maybe you've read a book somewhere, a paper somewhere, or just came across a random article on the internet. Because in my case, we saw that I'm working on satellite imagery, which sounds pretty different from medical images, right? And I've been in medical imaging all my life, I would say. So
Hmm.
first CT scans and CT scans, but I mean, I still could get something out of that domain and apply it to what we are currently working on. So it's like I usually put it as don't forget to look back while you're working on something going forward.
Yeah, man, y'all are dropping gems. I think my favorite part about this conversation is I leave this call with a great sense that everything you guys do at Axion Orbital will be directly in correlation to what somebody is actually looking for. It isn't going to be a, hey, we think this like pie in the sky approach of using our technology to do this obscure thing is going to solve this problem. It's like, okay, we have an assertion or a hypothesis of like what we think we should build. Go talk to 50, 100 people. If you don't have soft commits where money is tied to it, actual revenue in dollars, you shelf it and you build and you go for the next thing. It's like the product is just truly being iterated on based on whether or not somebody will open their wallet and cut a check right then and there. If not, it's not compelling enough for you to give a fuck about.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think that's it.